Hey, welcome to Lessons from the Boot. I'm your host, Ms. Brittany, and every week I dive deep into the personal growth and development that living here in South Italy teaches me, in the hope that you can gain some inspiration from it wherever you may be in the world. When you put yourself out there into the public domain, whether it be on social media platforms, YouTube, a blog, whatever aspect it may be, it almost becomes an open invitation for people to verbally dump their opinions, ideas, and often negative thoughts onto you and your work. And it's something that I've definitely experienced over the 3 years that I've been running my YouTube channel. And it's something I wanted to dive a bit deeper into in today's episode, because the thing that has always made me laugh about the so-called trolls and haters that every YouTuber experiences, this is not just a one-off phenomena, every YouTuber has this experience at some stage in their career, is that half of the people that have so much to say on the internet would absolutely never have the guts to say that to your face if they were to meet you in real life. That is the funniest aspect of this entire situation. Now, I saw a quote, I cannot remember where it was or who said it, about this very topic. And the person literally wrote, I don't let kind of like trolls or haters bother me because I'm just really grateful I don't have to deal with them in real life. And I was like, how true is that? Like, you know, as I've just said before, people have so much to say when they are behind a screen and typing away on a keyboard. But the grateful thing is you never have to deal with those kinds of people in real life, because usually in real life, those people would never say those things to your face. And often those people in real life you would never meet anyway, because the internet is like this huge vacuum, as we all know, where, you know, people anywhere in the world can see what you do. But I think it's really interesting how we become so self-righteous and so, you know, judgmental when we view other people's work on the internet. Now, I often get a mixture of comments on my YouTube channel. In the early days, it was comments to do with like the quality of my videos, which I kind of took as constructive feedback. So like comments about my audio quality or about like the volume of my videos. Yeah, they were definitely, in my opinion, constructive. They could have perhaps been worded in a better way, but I took the kind of goodness from those comments and made my videos 1% better every time as a result. So those kinds of comments helped fuel me to become a better creator. But then there are other types of comments that I often see on my channel of people just challenging my experiences or my ideas or my opinions as if I don't have a right to express what I talk about. And in those moments, I often find myself thinking, you know, should I be so frank about my experiences here in South Italy? Should I be talking about the reality of life? Should I just be, you know, talking about some kind of fairy tale kingdom that isn't reality? But of course, you know, those people who want to comment don't live here in the south of Italy the majority of times, or they're basing their opinions on old beliefs that they have about this part of Italy. And it's not something which should impact the content that I'm producing, because essentially the people that gain real value from my channel are people who want to live in Italy or want to visit Italy. And so the real aspects of this country benefit them greatly. And I think sometimes that's what you have to focus on. If you're working on something, if you're dealing with something and it's been met with a fair share of criticism, I think it is about taking away anything constructive from what people are saying. Like if it's something that you can do something about, if they're giving you some advice based on like content ideas or based on, I don't know, the quality of what you're producing, something like that, maybe you can kind of consider. And if it's something that you can do something about, you could perhaps, you know, put to one side for the future. But if it's just people reeling off their opinions for the sake of it, I honestly think sometimes you just have to either delete, block, or just ignore. is one of those things. And I've really kind of taken ownership of my channel in these previous months and been like, if I don't like a comment, if I think a comment is unnecessarily offensive or is just put there to stir up hate, it's never going to appear on my channel. I will delete it the minute I read it. And the reason I do that is because not that I want to create this kind of edited environment, because I do allow a lot of negative comments to stay on my channel because I think it's important for people to see both sides of the coin. But if there are comments that kind of cross that threshold into the point where it's no longer something that people can gain any value from, then they do not appear on my channel because it's my channel. I get to control what appears on my channel, and I also get to control the kind of environment that I want to create with my channel. And so I think that's another kind of aspect that comes into this. We have to consider the things that we can control in life, the things that are within our inner circle, and the things that we cannot control in life, the things that are in our outer circle. Now, of course, trolls and haters, they are very much in our outer circle. We cannot control them, no matter how much we might try to convince them that they're wrong, which, by the way, it's usually our ego that kicks in at that point when we are trying to actively defend our thoughts and opinions. Essentially, whatever we do, we are never going to be able to control those people. So they stay very much outside of what is known as our circle of influence. But our circle of influence, the things that we have direct control over, are our reactions, our responses. Also, if you're on like a social media platform, the content that you choose to allow to remain on that platform, that is something you have direct control over. And so I think it's really important sometimes to remember this kind of circle of influence, and whatever falls outside of that, to not let that impact you because you cannot control it. So I wanted to reflect on this today because I've just been thinking how it's mosquito season now. I think it's official to say I'm getting a fresh bite now pretty much every day. And rather than spraying citronella spray, mosquito repellent, whatever it may be, when I see these haters and trolls, it's like I'm spraying love and light, because something that somebody who is in a negative place or wants to be a troll absolutely hates is positivity. They're not in it for the love. They're in it for more hate, more jealousy, more bitterness. And so if your response doesn't fuel those emotions, it's the quickest way to silence them, because they don't want to receive your love and light. They want to make you angry and incensed and create an argument. And so now every time I see a comment, if I decide to allow it to remain on my channel, I send that person love and light, because clearly whoever is posting those kinds of things is not in a good place. Because when you're happy, you don't post negative things to people's accounts. You don't focus on that aspect. It's just how life is. So I think it's a really interesting thing. I think at some point in our lives, whatever we may be doing, you don't even have to be online to experience haters. You can experience them, unfortunately, in a physical form as well. But essentially, it is about recognizing that whole circle of influence and about letting go of the things that you cannot control and just making sure that you are in control always of your reactions, your responses, and your energy. This is the most important thing. I've said it before and I'll say it again and continuously say it to myself. We teach people how to treat us. If we don't respond to people, if we don't stand up for ourselves in certain points, because I do think there are points in life where it is essential that we set our boundaries and we're very clear. If you don't do that, sometimes it's like unspoken permission for people to continue to do the same thing. And the way that you can do that sometimes is, if you see something like on a social media platform you don't like, you just delete that user, block them, delete them. Why are they even on your channel if they dislike your content so much? That's something you're teaching those people not to bother to comment on your channel or to leave negative comments, because it's not going to get the response that they want. You know, you teach people how to treat you. If you're having like a physical interaction with somebody and you don't want to get into an argument, you just walk away, or you don't give them the kind of fuel that they're looking for by making you angry. Like, there are so many things we can do sometimes to teach people how to treat us, but the essential thing is, and the crux of this whole episode, is that you never lose sight of what you are in control of, and that is your emotions, your feelings, your work, whatever it is you're creating as well, in that sense, you are in control of it. And so that's what I wanted to remind you of in today's episode. I will see you in the next episode.